So just to give a little background, I think I have known Pawan since 2017, and he's always been a giver, right? So like every time, it's been about helping people. He's always stood up. So maybe traveling from all the way from Delhi to coming down to Pune and doing sessions, just because he wants more people to understand tech, to not face the challenges that he's gone through. So couldn't know a better person that we should be doing this session with today. So Pawan, over to you. Why don't you narrate your story to us today?
Yeah, first of all, thanks Sangeeta for having me. It's been a long time, as you mentioned, and always ready to join such kind of conversation where, this is what community is all about. That's why we started. So about me, a lot of people might be knowing for my YouTube channel, MTechViral, which is now Codepur. As you can see, my username, which is Codepur Ka Superhero. So the idea of Codepur actually started in around 2015. So basically, I'll start from my college days, I would say. When I was in college, I was not that good in tech or anything, right? I mean, as any normal Indian techie person who might have started with college, they don't feel that much confident that whether they can become a programmer or something, right? So that was the similar kind of experience. I was again another person who was not very happy with the education system of our country. So then I was like, what should I do? Then I tried for a couple of years a few things like to learn programming and all those kind of things. But I saw a lot of other people were knowing more than me. So I tried to find out the answer why. So someone mentioned me that, they have learned a little bit about computers in their 11th, 12th, right? But I was the guy who had taken physical education as the extra subject. So I didn't know anything about it. So when I started in college, then that was the first challenge. Then I was not able to understand, the concepts of programming and all those kind of things. So it took me some while to understand that how everything works. Then my interest was kind of very much into app development, because we used to travel in metro. We used to see people playing games, Temple Run and all those kind of things. So then we realized, okay, this is something which, we should create, rather we should learn to create. So that was again a journey to learning about all of those things. So when I was finishing my college, I started working somewhere and I realized that, I should do something by which, people can learn. The difficulties which I faced, they should not face that much, right? Because at that time, internet was still a thing, right? I mean, Geo was about to make an impact, but it's a story before Geo, right? So a lot of people were not using internet that much, at least for learning, right? So I thought like this is the right time. I started making some Android related tutorials and all, and that was good. I mean, at least I was learning few things, because I was very bad in all of the departments, like coming to camera or talking about anything, explaining things. So that was a good start. But then when I started getting more and more confidence with time that this is something which I can do, or I'm good. Like I understood after a while that I'm good with explaining things, because people were liking the way I used to explain. So that's how it started. And then I thought about like the name of my channel was totally like a random kind of thing. Like I started with TechViral, then that was a domain which was not available. Someone took it before I could take it. So I added M after along with it, just because I was mostly focused on mobile app development, and most of my application used to start with them. So that was the only reason for that. But then with the time I started that I'll create a platform as well which can help people in learning. So that's why the idea of Codepur came at that time. And then it took me some time to get the execution done, right? I started experimented with a lot of things. Like I have worked on so many different frameworks, platforms and all these things, right? None of them worked that much for me apart from Flutter, which became a thing. And when I started in India, I guess no one was doing it, right? At that, it was very, very early time, and no one might have heard about it at that time. It's about 2016, 2017, right? So now after 4 years, when I see it, it looks like a long journey. But yeah, I mean that's how I started, right? This is how the like community part also came into the picture, because once I started this development process, then a lot of people started joining, right? And when people join you, then actually, in short, you like make a community, right? It can be of 5 people, 10 people, 15 people, and then once you start exploring, then you get to know much more people, right? Around different cities, different countries, and yeah, we'll take it forward like how other things started. So yeah, that's more or less the journey.
So
Yeah.
moving on, Pawan, when did you realize that community was important in your journey? And if you can narrate a few instances here.
I mean, I never specifically thought about it, to be very honest, right? I mean, it start like when you start something, right? You just go with the flow, and that's what I did, right? Like I started doing more and more kind of videos, different technologies, so that I can get some more audience, and I can showcase my work as well, so that I can get better opportunities in the future, right? But then there was a time when I started exploring open source related stuff, right? That what is open source, how to contribute, and then only this community idea came into my mind, that how it works, right? I mean, why, like I used to ask myself why someone will open source a product or a particular application or something like that, right? Because there is no direct benefit, right? So and that's why a lot of people are still not doing it, right? Because they see that there is no benefit, right? Direct benefit, I would say. There are definitely benefits, but those are not direct, right? In terms of like, you cannot say that you will get that much money or something, right? So but I try to understand, right, why people are doing it, and what is the purpose behind it. Then this community thing came to my mind. Okay, there are various communities which you can join. There are various opportunities on open source application and all, right, where you can contribute. And how it will help is basically all of you, whoever is the part of it, right, they will all get benefit out of it, right? They are trying to help each other. So that's the concept of community. So that's when I thought I can also do it, right? I can try it at least. I mean, everyone, when they start, they are not that confident that what kind of work I'll do, right? What kind of contributions I'll do. I might feel stupid to some people, right? That I'm doing foolish things or something like that. But then I think everything comes with that flow, that okay, once you start doing it, you start to know that particular thing better and better with time, right? So that's how it started. And then I realized like that I should do more of this, right? Till now I was being a part of community, but I should create some by myself, right? Not because I am good into something, but just because I want to promote that particular area of interest, right? Like why that thing should be known to so much people. So that's why I started doing this community thing.
I know that through your YouTube content, you have impacted over thousands of people, not just in India but globally as well. So what is that one impact story you are really proud of?
I mean, it's a tough question, because there is not any one story which I can talk about, because there are a lot of stories. But genuinely what I like, when someone reaches out to me, and they say that, like, Pawan, because of you, we got job, or I got job, or like people at my place, learn from your videos. Like there are some companies who reached out to me, like a lot of developers in our company watch your videos, right? And we have totally jumped to this particular technology, or and this like job related things I got a lot, right? Like I got job, I got this much package because of you and all. So I don't think it's because of me, but still I feel that okay, I have definitely played a role somewhere, right, where they might have learned from it. And that's the impact story which I always wanted, right? Like that is the impact. What else can be? because there are various YouTube channels. There are a lot of things which you do, right? Which you watch on internet. But if something can be benefit, can give you benefit for your life, right? In terms of job, in terms of learning something, then what can be better than that? So I think that impact story is always there, that when someone is happy because of me, right? It can be job, it can be, some satisfaction that they could learn something. And that means a lot to me. So not a single story, I would say, but there are many stories like that. And I'm proud of that I was able to change at least some people's life, or something in their life for a positive reason.
Wow, that's very well put, Pawan. So this is something that that right now I want to know. So guys, there was this community called Let's Flutter with Dart. That was like one of the first Flutter communities that I had joined online, and I remember we used to reach for help, and I did not know that Pawan had created it for a very long time. And then I got to know, okay, Pawan is the founder. And Pawan, can you tell us a little about that community, and how did you go about finding moderators for it? Because right now I know that community is huge. Like, we have more than 44,000 people who are part of it, and that's always like one of the primary resources that we refer to as devs.
So I mean, what I'll say is, like, I am very keen to technology, right? Like, I am a very experimental kind of guy. So at that time when I was doing a lot of Flutter stuff, I tried to find out some communities, like open communities which are available, right? There were some, but I was like thinking about doing it on Facebook, because on Facebook it was like, a lot of people were using Facebook. Facebook was a thing. Like today what Instagram is, that time Facebook was, right? Like, I mean, in terms of the active users, right? Like how much people are active. Like, still maybe Facebook is still relevant, but at that time it was more relevant. So I thought about creating a community on Facebook, and I did it. And luckily it worked, right? I mean, a lot of people joined and everything like that. In terms of moderator, I won't say that I had to do a lot, because when people were joining, the Facebook group, I used to know, okay, these people, like what they are talking about, right? What their experience is. And then from those people only, I used to make moderators. Like there are some people who are always answering, right? The questions which are being asked in the community or in the group. So I used to reach out to them. I used to ask them, oh, can you or like, will you be interested in being a moderator, or try to see what's happening in the group, because most of the time I'm not available, I'm doing something else, so I need people like you. And similarly, that number kept increasing, right? With time, there were a lot of friends as well who joined the group, and then I made them moderator. So I never took it seriously that I knew people are here for learning, right? So I was never that much worried about what will happen if something wrong goes with that, right? I mean, in terms of someone posts a bad content, then we have people who will delete it, or I'll take let it be there. Whenever I'll see it, I'll delete it, because they are smart people, they will ignore that content.
So on that note, this is a final question, and I think people who are also watching this session, because you are here right now watching this session because you have been impacted by the power of community. So can you define what is the first word that comes to your mind when we say the word community?
Okay, so I thought about it, in fact, what I should answer for this, but I mean, what I personally feel is growing together. Okay, that's maybe two words, but that's a combination of two words together, going together. If you are saying that's a community, and if people are not growing together, then it's not a community. That's what I feel, right? I mean, it's some different sort of things, right? Like there are, I know a couple of communities here and there which don't follow this rule, right? I mean, there are some people who are trying to be boss of things, or they are only getting benefit but others are not getting. So that's not a community, then I would say, right? So growing together is a word which I personally feel that suits best as a community. If everyone is growing, then this community is growing. Otherwise, none of the community can grow.
Wow, it's very well put. Thank you so much, Pawan. And
Thanks.
I think on that note, we can wind this session. Thanks to everyone who joined and who could be a part of this session. I think this is a lot of things that we've taken back from Pawan today. The first, I think, is that if you believe in, this is the message that I'm taking back, and is what I also want to share, that if you have a strong will to do something for people, go ahead and do it. Don't think about what flaws and what are the barriers you're currently having, because once you start working towards it, you will find solutions. And and when people see you doing stuff for them, then they will also come and start helping you do bigger things, right? So yeah, that's it, I suppose. And thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll meet next week again on Saturday. So yes, guys, bye bye, take care.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks, Sangeeta.